Mari Singh, director of the Central Aquarium turned sustainable fish farm operator located in the castle settlement. Mari is not only a pivotal member of our community, she is Manny's baby mama. If you remember what he was like when he lost his toys all those months ago, imagine if something happened to Mari. Agents, get her back. Be careful though, our drones have been picking up some weird signals in the area, but any movement we seem to locate has been clouded by some sort of blue smoke. Mari Singh is the director of the Washington, D.C. Aquarium. When animal rights groups protested the inhumane captivity of the aquarium's dolphins, they cited it as animal cruelty, and from here there began a number of long drawn-out lawsuits filed against the aquarium. With the impact of these lawsuits and the outcry from the public, the aquarium started to lose revenue at an alarming pace. Unable to afford hiring a spokesperson, the responsibility fell solely on Mari's shoulders to be the voice and face of their organization. They soon realized that keeping the dolphins at the aquarium was no longer a feasible and ethical option for them, and immediately began focusing their efforts and funds on rehoming the mammals to a local sanctuary, as releasing them back into the wild was not a possibility. Some of these animals had spent the entirety of their lives at the aquarium, and others had been captured when they were so young that captivity was the only life they really knew. Although devastating to say goodbye to these dolphins, as the aquarium staff had built such close bonds with them over the years, ultimately they had to put the animals' well-being above all else. And so even with such great financial cost to the aquarium, along with the financial strain from the lawsuits, Mari made the hard decision to rehome them. Of course, this was the plan before the dollar flu outbreak caused the whole city to be put into lockdown. Mari embodies wariness, professionalism, and a practical approach, potentially to a fault. She understands that certain things need to be done in order to achieve objectives. Following the division's successful rescue of the aquarium community and Agent Kelso's absence in New York, Mari enters a relationship with Manny. Upon Kelso's return, Manny discovers Mari's pregnancy, which revitalizes his commitment to restoring the castle settlement and transforming it into a secure sanctuary for their expanding family.
Thank you for dinner.
Oh, I told you I owed you one.
It's been a really long time since I've had a meal this good.
I'm glad you enjoyed it. Thank you for the easy company.
When you invited me over for fish tacos, I wasn't sure if it was some kind of code.
Code?
You know, for, nah, never mind.
I have kind of an awkward question.
Okay.
What's the deal with you and Kelso?
The deal?
Are you two together?
Oh, God, no, that's no. No, she's beautiful, but not my type. Too chaotic and young.
Good to know. Would you like a drink? I got some wine from the theater settlement. Traded 3 fish for it. They say it's, quote, good stuff.
I'm going to need to jump in here and go off track for a little bit. I've been married for around 8 years. I certainly wouldn't have any idea of what it's like in the dating scene these days. It's been almost a decade. And to be fair, if I looked back, my social awkwardness meant that I could barely even string a decent sentence together. I fully relied on the fact that I was a big, okay-looking dude who liked to lift a lot of weights back then. My courting ritual of a potential mate could have been compared to a silverback gorilla beating his chest, or perhaps a darker-haired version of the American animated series of the late 90s, Johnny Bravo.
Hey, baby, I know what you're thinking. How did the statue get off its pedestal? Well, surprise, I'm real. Sugar nip?
What I'm trying to say is, I have absolutely no game by yesterday or today's standards, but these are still bloody awkward to listen to, even by my standards. However, for consistency, I need to include these in the video.
As requested for tilapia fillets.
Thank you.
I cannot wait to try this famous ceviche. I thought you only made that for special occasions or when you're trying to get laid.
Thanks, Cindy.
Happy to help, boss.
Sorry about her.
I like her, she's funny. And informative. So, what's the special occasion? Or do you just want to get laid?
I don't know how to answer that.
I guess sleeping with me could count as a special occasion.
Oh, okay, wow, so, do you want to go in my office? I kind of live in there, and there's a lock on the door.
Well, maybe you should take a shower first. You're cute, but honey, you stink.
Yeah, right, yeah, sorry, feels like I can take a break. Personal hygiene has been slipping for a while now.
Less talking, more showering, mister. I need to get back to the aquarium or people are gonna suspect something's up. Oh my god, did you try the fish tacos? They're so freaking good.
Right? If they led with this, we could have overthrown the Black Tusk.
Hindsight. I'm glad you made it out.
Me too. I wish more of us made it.
Nope, stop. We can't go there. If we start crying, we'll never stop.
Hey, Manny. Tell your girl thanks.
Hey, keep it down.
What?
We're not public.
Shit, Mari, have you tried this ceviche? Of course. You gotta have some. I'm good. You're missing out.
You pregnant or something?
Okay, no more toilet wine for you. Manny, can you handle him?
Of course.
What did I say?
We aren't telling people.
Oh, shit. You're gonna be a dad.
Hey, friend. I really like this girl. Can you just please shut the fuck up?
You knocked her up. I hope you like her.
Okay, I think it's time for bed.
I'll take care of our boy. Go get your girl. We need to talk.
Oh, no, did I do something wrong?
No, you're not in trouble or anything. Well, at least I hope not.
Okay, now you're scaring me.
We're adults. We're smart. College educated and all that.
Are you interviewing me for a job?
No, I just mean, we aren't stupid, and I'm a scientist, so I know how reproduction works.
Okay, now you've lost me.
We've been having fun for a couple of months.
Has it really been that long already?
Yeah, we've been having uninterrupted fun for the last 8 weeks.
This may be my longest relationship.
Be serious.
I am. I really like you, Mari.
I like you too. I like you so much we've been having unprotected sex for 8 weeks with no breaks.
Aren't you on birth control?
Where would I get birth control?
Are you pregnant?
For now.
What do you mean, for now?
I mean, I've been pregnant before. I've taken care of it, or my body has, so the odds of this baby making it to term with minimal access to modern medicine with a questionable diet and high stress is not great.
Do you want to have a kid with me?
Well, we've only known each other for a couple of months, but honestly, I couldn't imagine a better person to have a kid with.
How can I help?
I guess send your agents to raid a pharmacy for prenatal vitamins and find a midwife? Maybe we could build a barn for me to give birth in. I don't know. We could die tomorrow or live to be 100. None of this makes sense.
Well, then I guess I'll plan for 100 and be happy if we see tomorrow.
Murray Singh has been located at the Manning National Zoo. At the entrance, agents are immediately met with heavy black tusk resistance. While these aren't an issue for the agents to dispatch, they are now running against the clock. With hostiles aware of the division being on site, they need to move fast before Murray is once again moved on.
Hostile radio intercepted.
Division on site. We need to secure the asset.
I'm near the aquarium. I'll handle Mari.
Remember, Nat said keep her stress low.
Handle the intruders and start evacuation procedures. I'll keep her calm and move to the rendezvous.
Copy that.
Through the intercepted comms, the Black Tusk had been instructed to keep Mari calm and comfortable, but the agents would also learn of her location. Fighting through hordes of Black Tusk on their way to the aquarium, including some warhounds, the agents consider themselves lucky for not having similar doggos that were seen at the end of the last manhunt.
The aquarium has better infrastructure. You'll have to contend with predation and weather if you convert the enclosure into a fish farm. Are you sure there aren't any crocs in there? This really doesn't feel very safe. I promise, no crocs, gators, or apex predators of any kind are in the enclosures.
Pushing through the aquarium, it appears that Murray has been moved on.
Mari was the director of the DC Aquarium before she turned it into a fish farm. They probably want her to set up a similar operation for the Black Tusk. food security is a powerful motivator. Agent, I've got eyes on Mari near the savannah.
Agents make their way over to the savannah.
You can't let the division destroy the clinic! We won't. We should stay and fight! We need to get you and that baby to safety. Don't worry. The Black Tusk will stop the division. Thank you.
Get the patients out of here!
They're running away from us? But we're trying to help them.
I won't let you take them!
It would appear that Mari isn't the only pregnant woman on site. They seem to be using this area of the zoo as a clinic. It also shows that the personnel the agents have been rescuing are only some of many civilians that the Black Tusk have been working with. The propaganda machine is going strong.
System.
This could work. Biodome would be perfect for an aquaponics operation like the one we set up at the castle. Some of these plants must be edible. You could root the cuttings and grow them on top of the fish tanks. You're not worried about predation? As long as you keep the dome closed, you shouldn't have to worry about birds stealing the fish. The plants on top offer additional protection. It's also nicer to work inside during a storm, and it's closer to the clinic. Honestly, you don't need all of this to build a fish farm. You're recommending we look for another site for the operation. I'm recommending you use the infrastructure of a zoo for a zoo. We need sustainable food for the community if we want people to come back. And when people are back, they're going to be bored and want to go on adventures. Experience new things. They'll want to go to the zoo. Or the aquarium. Yes. But turning the aquarium into a fish farm was different. We already had a fish farm. Turning the crock pit into a trout hole is very different. The exhibits weren't built for people to grow food. They were built to keep the animals in. There are too many ways people can get hurt, especially at night. And especially if you're wrong about all the predators abandoning their habitats. You want a fish farm? Convert a warehouse or a shipping container. It will work just as well.
As the agents move through the compound, they intercept quite a number of hostile comms. The Black Tusk are evacuating quite a large number of personnel, and Mari has been moved along hastily.
Agent, there's movement in the bamboo forest near the panda enclosure. I think they're getting ready for another extraction.
Wally directs us to the next extraction point. Mari could be on this one, so the agents waste no time in making it over there.
How's it going? Come in, dipshit. Well, he's dead. Okay, I think we should get you out of here, just in case. Something wrong? Nothing you should worry about. But I'd prefer to get you somewhere more secure. Too many access points. We need an extraction. Send the helo. Meet us at the atrium.
Realizing that the agents are getting close, and that nothing seems to be slowing them down, the Black Tusk move Mari towards an extraction point.
Take this. Put it in your ear. I'll let you know when it's safe to come out.
These are division comms.
You'll be safe in there. I'll let you know when you can come out.
Someone is looking out for Mari. Agents will need to worry about this later, as they engage in combat at the atrium with one of the Black Tusk leaders that have been looking after Mari.
Where is that helo? En route to the atrium. Negative. Atrium is compromised. New rendezvous at the arena. Copy that.
Eventually the leader would be taken down, and Mari could be heard over the comms.
Manny? I know you're listening. Hey, Mari. It's, Wally, actually. Wally? Where the hell is Manny? We sort of agreed he should sit this one out. That was probably a good idea. Torres is on her way. I'll tell Manny you're okay. No, please don't. Just wait until we're back. In case anything happens to us, I don't want to get his hopes up.
However, they aren't quite done yet. Mari was relocated to the arena, where another Black Tusk leader is waiting to extract her.
Don't shoot! It's me! I'm coming out! Agent, you can shoot a flare. Taurus is on her way.
However, when firing off the flare to bring Torres in, the agents and Mari weren't the only ones left on site.
What, you miss me or something?
Thank you, Agent. Are you okay? Did they hurt you?
Hey, I'm fine. I'm fine.
The baby?
So far, so good. Even got some prenatal vitamins. And a scan. Yeah, everything's normal. We're not out of the woods, but their doctors say she looks healthy.
She?
It's a girl.
They took care of you. You were safe with them?
No. No, I wasn't safe with them. That psycho was only good to me because she knew she needed me alive to get what she wants.
What does she want?
For you to give her the White House. And to install her organization as rightful military force. To stand down and give her legitimacy. What else did you expect from a woman like that?
Maybe we should just give her what she wants.
Fuck that!
Yeah, I'm with Wally. Giving in to people like that never ends well.
We can't do this alone.
Well, we don't have to. Where's Vic?
Sokolova has him.
Well then, you get him back. He knows her operation. He helped build it. You want to take her down? And you want to protect your family? Get Vic. Where's Kelso?
Back in New York.
We need to get sleep. We have a big day tomorrow.
Thank you.
Nat, I just wanted to let you know, the asset is in place and awaits your orders.
Excellent.
Mari very obviously doesn't buy into what Natalia has been doing. She is certain that this whole thing was just a part of Natalia's plan of manipulation, a plan to mislead and confuse Manny and the team into just handing over the White House. And to be fair, it's been working. Look at how Manny reacted through this whole manhunt, and the state he's now in. He seems almost defeated. But this is where Mari voices up and tells him to snap out of it. Unlike Manny, she sees right through it. Natalia is crazy, she needs to be stopped, and Wally 100% agrees with her. First things first, they need to get Vikram Malik back. He has once again been captured by the Black Tusk. As we have found out over this last season, he played a part in building her operation. He has the information they need to take it down.
Are you really okay?
Yes. Stop treating me like I'm made of glass.
I'm not doing that.
Yes, you are.
We should get some sleep.
You should be working.
I can't. Can't we just take a break and be grateful you're home and safe?
Yeah, we can take a break. But tomorrow we get back to work.
What does she want with you anyway?
Same thing you do.
She wants a baby?
No, what is wrong with you? She wanted me to set up a fish farm at the zoo. Figured if I could repurpose the exhibits at the aquarium to feed the community, they could do something similar there.
That's actually a pretty good idea.
Yeah, it's not the worst idea. Why the hell would they want to try to maintain a fish farm at a zoo? I thought their whole thing was being creepy, infiltrating raiders with too much tech and no morality.
She's an heiress. She's probably tired of hovercrafts and soldier stink. She's looking for something more stable. She's recruiting, trying to turn our people to her side. Maybe she's ready for something bigger. If she controls the food supply and offers protection and stability, she could turn the nation.
Or maybe the fish farm wasn't for her. I don't know. I'm going to bed.
So now that the season is wrapped up, there are a couple of big topics we need to discuss. Has Natalia actually turned good, or has Mari lost the plot? What is the asset Natalia was talking about? And who is the random unnamed person who helped Mari out at the zoo and gave her the division comms? Let's start with what I sort of see as the obvious one. Is Natalia and the Black Tusk the good guys now? In my opinion, absolutely not. I've been harping on about this since the first minor mission this season. It has all just screamed as Natalia is playing the same plan but trying a different direction. I agree with what Mari said about Natalia trying to get Manny to just hand over the White House, but I don't think Mari or Wally would ever let this happen. However, I think this is only part of what Natalia was trying to do with this new approach. I mean, she was successful with Manny. He looks shattered, like he needs to take some sort of sabbatical or something. But look at what we found out in their last mission. Our personnel that we've been bringing back look to only be a fraction of who Natalia has brought under her wing. There were a lot of people being evacuated from the zoo while we were there, and from the sounds of it, they completely buy into what Natalia is selling. They were actually scared of the division. It would seem that the Puppet Master has successfully begun controlling the way the public see her and the Black Tusk. To be fair, she should have started doing this a long time ago. What Manny said there about whoever controls the food and can provide security will have the support of the people isn't necessarily untrue, but I think on a much more basic level, if Natalia wanted to take control of DC or the US, she was always going to have a much easier time if she had the general public on her side. But she has a hell of a job ahead of her. Looking at the Black Tusk from the outside, they don't exactly scream friendly, with their dark uniforms, robot attack dogs and other giant tech they leave all over the place, as well as the fact that they have mowed down an unimaginable number of JTF since they've first been in the city. Maybe this is where the True Sons come in. It did always seem strange that she would bring them on board. They didn't really have a lot to offer her. Perhaps they will be the ones that handle the more civilian-facing missions, while the Black Tusk work on the more undercover projects in the background, so the True Sons can gather all of the negative press, while Natalia continues to boost the Black Tusk. Anyway, summing up whether Natalia is now good? No, she is not. Her goal is still the same as it has always been. She is simply just placing a bit more focus on the Black Tusk's public image. So who is the asset Natalia was talking about, and what is Natalia going to do with them? It could be easy to assume after this last season of rescuing lesser-known characters that perhaps one of them has been turned by Natalia and is ready to play out some sort of sabotage on Manny or the castle settlement. But I don't think this is the case. All of them have very close relationships with Manny before they were captured, and none of their personalities seem like the type to do this. Obviously we could be surprised, but it still doesn't feel right to me. Instead, I believe the asset to be something else. In the past, we've heard Natalia use similar language during the Barden Schaefer manhunt, and what they were referring to as the asset then was a hunter. So I'm going to say that this is what she has put in place. But to do what? Well, I think this is where my last question comes in. Who was the person behind the voice who helped keep Murray safe during her rescue?
Take this. Put it in your ear. I'll let you know when it's safe to come out.
These are division comms.
You'll be safe in there. I'll let you know when you can come out.
When I first heard the voice, like most I assume, I noticed there wasn't a name attached to the subtitles. My mind went straight to things like maybe it was a JTF officer who had infiltrated the compound, who was getting ready to extract her once we had dealt with the last of the hostiles. Or maybe it was a defector within the Black Tusk ranks who had managed to get hold of a division comms piece. But then we would get to the end of the mission, and someone familiar that we've seen once before would show himself. Now I'll admit it, the voice being a hunter, or more specifically, the recruiter, didn't fit for me. But the more time I spent trying to prove this wrong, the more likely it ended up becoming. I went back through all of my mind maps, Venn diagrams and whiteboards that I've used to piece all the stories together over the years, across the different media types and games. I looked through all the past and current characters to try and make sense of it and who could have stepped in at the last minute there, but I kept coming up blank. However, when I stood back and actually assessed the potential significance of those couple of lines, along with Natalia's mention of the asset, the scene showing the recruiter, and the fact that a lot of the comms this season coming out of the Descent game mode have been bringing a lot of light to the role of the hunters, it's hard not to come to the conclusion that this was the voice of the recruiter. But then, why would he help Murray? I mean, we all love the hunters, but when it comes to agents versus hunters, they're the bad guys, right? I don't think this is a situation where the voice actor maybe didn't portray the character in the correct way, because I regularly chat to the overlord of all that is the division lore, and she is most certainly not someone who would settle for a mediocre attempt at voicing one of her creations. So if that was the recruiter, he kind of sounded like a decent guy, not the bad guy you would expect. Well, like everything in this game, I think there's a lot more to it. Based on the intel we're receiving from the Descent comms, it's looking very likely that one of the first speculations around what we thought the hunters were may actually be pretty close. I put out a video, my first speculation video actually, 5 years ago, called Who Are the Hunters? To date, this is still the most popular video I've ever released, which is sad because it was actually demonetized almost immediately by Ubisoft because they didn't like some of the survival footage I used apparently. But we won't talk about that right now. Basically, the most favoured speculation I could talk to at the time was that the Hunters were the third wave. Now, I don't think that they're the third wave, but I believe their position through this whole thing is very similar to what we were talking about way back then. They were put in place as sort of a division agent control system. I say division agent rather than rogue agent because there seems to be a very blurry line between these two things these days. So for the purpose of this video, let's just round up rogues and division agents as the same thing, and hunters are a suppression system put in place to control them if needed. This isn't meant to be an agent versus hunter video because I feel the answer to that is pretty clear. If pitted against each other one-on-one, not the player character, but an average division agent versus a hunter, the agent wouldn't stand a chance. This isn't because the SHD agent is worse than the hunter, they just have very different functions. Agents are there to save what remains, work closely with those in society to help rebuild, while fighting back against any hostile uprisings they may encounter. Hunters, they're specialized in doing exactly what their name suggests, hunt down a target and eliminate. I think of the Hunters as being like a Ghost Recon ghost. No, I'm not saying that Ghost Recon is the same universe as the Division, that has been confirmed as false many times. I'm just using them as an example. Hunters are super black ops. Except while Ghosts are still formidable on their own, they're most effective in a small squad, where Hunters work solo. Even agents, while deployed in cells, are perfectly capable working alone, unless they're running raids or incursions, it would seem. Basically, the Hunters are far more highly trained combat units than the agents, but their purpose is much narrower. Rather than being trained, the Hunters are recruited, hence the recruiter. I think before the outbreak, the Hunters were recruited from various branches of Special Forces. So these guys are American troops. Super deadly troops, but still people fighting for their country. Why do I think this matters? Well, Calvin McManus isn't exactly a good guy, it would seem, and the Hunters do report directly to him. They aren't just mindless killing machines. I don't think they want to see US civilians being killed en masse by the Black Tusk, division agents, or anyone else stuck in this conflict. And I think there's the potential there that the recruiter is going a little off mission. Well, at least a little bit off Calvin's mission. Let's assume for a second there that the Hunters' whole mission that they have been given was to eliminate division agents who have gone off mission. As things currently are, it isn't really clear who is and isn't on mission. So perhaps the Hunters, or at least their leader, the recruiter, is feeling a little conflicted in the direction everything is headed. Also, given that they're using at least one of the 3 AI systems, it's possible they have hacked into it and seen everything that has been going on, like Aaron Keener did. Maybe the recruiter is looking for someone on the other side of this war to converse with about this whole thing. Someone he sees as an equal with a similar moral compass. Someone who can help bring balance to this situation. And this is why he's been watching us for so long now. He's been assessing whether we can be trusted. Remember, Calvin and Natalia wouldn't exactly be able to recognize us if we were recruited. As we all know, Hunters don't talk, and their identity is hidden by a mask. We might not even be the first division agent that has been recruited into the Hunter ranks. I could probably just keep prattling on about this, including a number of directions the story could take, but for this video I think this is enough for now. I want to revisit this soon though. Now that I've managed to put all the crazy stuff in my head down as words on a screen, I've freed up some space to keep mulling this over, so I'll keep you updated with anything that could be interesting. Otherwise, what do you think this all means? Do you have a different take on who the asset is? Or who could be behind the voice? Let us all know in the comments. This season has been a big one for the story, and it's showing in the length of my videos, even with some of the super minor targets. The wrap-up compilation video for this season is going to be ridiculously long. Anyway, thank you very much for your patience with waiting for this video. I hope it was worth the wait. Thanks again for all the support, and Extremis Malus, Extrema Remedia.